Guys, another thing I want to add in this series is, the whole thing about making boundaries. You know, I think I've already talked about this in a previous video of mine, but I'll emphasize this, I'll repeat it. In every human interaction, there are roles, there are expectations, and there are boundaries. The expectation determines the boundary. If I expect someone to treat me right, then the boundary is the right treatment. That's what I want to protect. A boundary is something you want to keep intact. That's why you have an expectation in order so to keep the thing intact that you value. So in every human interaction, even if the interaction is an hostile interaction, there are boundaries. There are always boundaries. There's always something an individual wants to keep intact. The thing is, when you are in a relationship, I don't care whether it's a business relationship or academical relationship or a romantic sexual relationship or just a friendship or a family relationship. I don't care what your relationship with a negative individual is. With a relationship with a negative individual will always cause you to be under bondage, because in a healthy relationship, people negotiate with each other and people make agreements upon the expectations and upon the boundaries. In an unhealthy relationship, you are the one who needs to honor the boundaries of the abuser. An abuser will always force you to value and to honor his desires, his or her, because females abuse to an abuser will expect you to worship his and her emotional and psychological needs above and to put yours aside. Didn't never been through, some circumstances in which you were the only one who had to watch out and look out for the interests of the other, but the others didn't care about your interests at all. Ever felt like you're the only one who has obligations while the other only has rights? Ever felt like people only want to have you around if they need something, or they only talk to you when they're annoyed about something, or they're annoyed with you, but for all the other moments in time you don't exist? That's a negative individual. That's an abuser. I don't care how nice they do towards others. If they do negative towards you, I don't care. For what reason? When you have a negative attitude towards someone, you who have the negative attitudes will become negative and poisoned. A good tree cannot produce evil fruit. You don't go to a thorn bush and find grapes over there. You don't go to a thorn bush to some desert plant and find beautiful apples. You don't. If the tree is good, the qualities of the fruit will be good too. Some fruits, due to external factors, may have some bad shapes, but the quality is still good. A negative individual cannot produce good fruit. A negative individual is always focused only upon gratifying his or her own emotional and psychological needs. And they will walk over you and deny you and use guilt and manipulation upon you just to get what they want. You know, people should wake up. I see a lot of people engaging in friendships, or they have a strong family. They have strong family ties. But when you look with a healthy eye, you can see that there are a few abusers. Yeah, let me say the whole family is abusive, and there are a few people who are strongly abusing, and the others are allowing it. Negative people will always admire other negative people who are more negative than they are. They always will. You will never find a negative individual honoring and giving credit to someone who is righteous. It won't happen. So, whenever you see people showing sympathy with an abuser, because there are abusers themselves. So, actually, okay, some negative people are humans too. They have feelings, and you can sympathize with a certain trauma someone endured in the sense that okay, you've been through a similar thing. That's not the same as sympathizing with their excuses that they use to remain abusive. And I see this happen a lot. You see this happen between women also, that they sympathize with a female who is emotionally abusive and abuses others. And they don't approve the lifestyle of the other woman, but they do sympathize with her. They do. So let me get it straight, ladies. If you sympathize with another woman who's abusive, it's because you're abusive yourself. And you just found someone who is more powerful in what you would want to do. The same is for men. If a man chooses to remain in a friendship, or if it's a sexual relationship, if it's a marriage, if a man decides to stay married to a woman who is suggestible, who's abusive, it's because the man himself also is abusive. That's why he wants to be around an abuser. Okay? Just be aware of this. Negative people will always honor and admire other negative people, and they love to be around people who are more negative than they are. A negative individual will never honor someone who's righteous. And the other way around, a righteous individual will not hate a negative individual, but they will never sympathize with a negative individual. Never. Okay, that's it for now. Remember, you will know them by their fruits. An evil and corrupt tree cannot produce healthy and good fruit. Never. Don't be deceived.